flattest of the Erics. We haven't got regular Eric first. We've got the flatness of the How have you been? Hang on, let me get rid of this intro music. Is Jan Silver barking in the intro? That's what it is, mate. It's an edit of Jan Silver barking with the... Let's end it there. Let's chill. How are you, dude? What's good? What's good? What's good? That chill music is a little bit too loud. Hang on a second. Let me get my audio settings right. I gotta hear myself back here. Hang on. Everyone's gonna appreciate this when they listen back to it. And we're caught up. All right, lovely. Cool. Cool. Oh, Eric. What's up, dude? It's just you and me right now while we wait for other people to load in and get here. Today, your MMA YouTube video of the day was John Jones and Tom Aspinall just being the savior of the UFC heavyweight division. And for once, it was good to see that people out there were actually agreeing with me sort of strangely. Like, Bilal, Nacho, a lot of people were like, yeah, this might be what's going... The Dana White might be putting a hold on the UFC heavyweight division just to try and make something happen, just to give people a reason to still talk about the heavyweight division. And then, so, what's up, 305 Trunks? What's up? Shame on, how are you, brother? Well, Kenny isn't here. Kenny isn't here. Kenny isn't here. Eric was the flattest of the Erics, out of the many Erics that we have in the chat. The flattest of the Eric was here. Eric, why are you so flat? Is it that you believe the earth is flat? Or do you just not go to the gym? Why do you refuse to have any sort of curvature as a man? You shouldn't be flat. You should have curvature. You should have upper chest. You should have shoulders. You know? You should have quads. You should be able to pick up your woman, throw her over your back, and carry her to safety when your hut is on fire. What's up, 305 Chunks? How are you, dude? How you going, man? He's out to make light heavyweight. Islam versus Tapurio. And Arman versus Holloway, while everyone over 35 gets sent over to the JFL. I like it, Toad. There is a real... The camera's still very high. Hang on a second. There we go. That's better. Oh, there we go. The stream's looking perfect now. I like it too, Toad. There is a really weird thing that's gone on with the UFC lightweight division where... all of the old guard seems to always beat up the new guard. Like, BSD didn't make it through. Fiziev's had 2 cracks, didn't make it through. Arman Sarukian made it through by the hair of his... just by the enamel on his teeth did he get past Charles Oliveira. The UFC lightweight division is so goddamn good. They keep fighting back all the young guns that are trying to make their way up the division, which, you know... is great for the UFC's marketing team because they have the same names to go and go and go again, but not great for the health of the division. You know, I would say that heavyweight and lightweight are probably in the worst state they've ever been, whereas welterweight is probably in the best state that it's ever been, and middleweight is doing very good as well. We should bring up that pyramid that we did last year, Toad, where we took the best divisions in the UFC and started ranking them. Who has more charisma, Bo Nickel or Bilal? Believe it or not, 305 Chunks, but it's actually Bilal. Bilal's got more charisma. At least with Bilal, you feel something. He's not just a bot. He's not just another copied and pasted wrestling dude straight out of high school. At least with Bilal, when you look at the screen, you feel rage and hatred and just a want to punch through the screen. Shame on says, wait, Dougie, I'm curious. Did you ban the toughest chat member on the planet because I'm ready to take up the mantle? No, I don't ban people. No, I haven't banned anyone. I haven't banned anyone. There's a couple of bans on the channel, but you have to be pretty bad to... If you're talking about Blueprint, no, I haven't banned Blueprint. No, I'd never ban Blueprint. I like Blueprint. I think he's a special little guy, and I'm happy to have him here on the channel. I'd never ban Blueprint. Have you thought about licking Alexa Grasso's feet today? I've not thought about licking Alexa Grasso's feet today. Very, very odd that, isn't it, Yogathan? How are you, mate? How are you going? For real, though, I don't like all the unks in the title picture and the consistent rematches. And I think Arman versus Holloway is an underrated, very interesting matchup. Arman versus Holloway is an interesting one. I also wouldn't mind Holloway versus Oliveira, you know, and then do Arman versus, say, Dustin, since Dustin hasn't had a go at Arman yet, and Arman hasn't really had a go at Dustin. There are ways to match it up, though. Yeah, I get what you mean, though. The unks in the lightweight division are sort of... It's weird, Toad. Like, are the Unks just so good they can beat the new up-and-comers? Or is the UFC just not churning through contenders quickly enough and we don't really have the best lightweights in the world? Because across the entire spectrum of the MMA world, when you look at all the regional organizations across the world, you've got a lot of flyweights and atomweights because a lot of Southeast Asia is very malnourished and well, quite frankly, there's a lot of flyweights and atomweights along Southeast Asia. They just make up a vast bulk of that. But across like the Western world and the Eastern European world, lightweight is the most talent-rich division. The most people in the world seem to fit into lightweight. And yet, why has the UFC lightweight division felt like it is stagnating so much? What's up, Valencia? How are you? Hello from Chile. G'day from Australia. From Australia to Chile. Look at us. Two little countries at the absolute bottom of the globe, Chile. Good to have you here, Valencia. You a fan of the UFC? How did you find the channel? Yeah, so what do you reckon it is, Toad? Why has the UFC lightweight division come to such a stagnating point? How could I ever be referring to Blueprint when I'm talking about the tough guys? Are you off your meds or something? I don't know. Which one is the tough guy that we're talking about? I don't know. We had a very long weekend of streaming, shame on. Who are we talking about here? Yeah, the other news, of course, is Colby Covington did an interview with the boys down at Submission Radio. And Colby Covington has said, I've got a short recorded for this that's going to come out after the stream. He legit wants Nick or Nate Diaz. Nick or Nate, he doesn't care which Diaz it is. He wants one of the Diazes. Colby, you are a fucking joke, bro. You are a fucking joke, Colby. You're an embarrassment, mate. It's bizarre why Colby Covington is going after one of the Diazes, man. Colby likes to fight old and retired fighters. Exactly. Best we can do is Kevin Holland, kid. Honestly, Colby should fight Kevin Holland. Honestly, this is a great answer here. From old, where was this one? This one, from Jimmy Boy. The best we can do is Kevin Holland, kid. I actually don't hate that at all. For Colby. How could I ever be... No. Hooker will be fighting in the mix when he's healthy. Hooker is also 35, Eric. Hooker is an old, top 5. What's up, Kenny? Good to see you, man. Hooker's an old top 5 Eric, the flattest of the Erics. He's an old head for lightweight. I know he's having a resurgence, but he's having his Bobby Green 2023 moment. You know what I mean? I think Bo Nickel had more charisma before he kneed the bro in the nuts. Wasn't that Bo Nickel's first fight? Shame on. Shame on, I think that was the first fight, right? That was Bo Nickel's first fight. So he had more charisma before he even got into the UFC. I think at this particular point in time, he committed to lying, locking his character separated from reality. He's never reversed. He's locking his character separate. I think he's committed to lying, locking his character separated from reality. He'd never revert. What do you mean by that last part? Shame on. What do you think of Ignacio Bahamondos? I think he's great. Mate. I think he's great. Isn't he? I think I was doing some research on Ignacio Bahamondos today. Isn't he fighting this weekend's card, Valencia? Yog says, I want them now. Too bad, Yog. That's just too bad, Yog. Although, Yog, are you in the Discord? Because there are photos in there that would get they would tickle your pickle if you're in the Discord. Fiziev lost to Gaethje twice, arguably won the first fight, and DDP fraud-checked BSD. And those are the only times the old men turned back the young up-and-comers. Yeah, I guess so. I was going to say, Ferguson fell off, but Ferguson fell off to everyone. Yeah, so it's only a couple of names really that are still hanging around, isn't it, Toad? Because it used to be Ferguson, it used to be Dariush, but those two have completely fallen away. Chandler's completely fallen away. Conor will never fight at lightweight again if he ever does fight in the UFC again. Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. Colby is an American patriot. That's one way of saying it. Not the AM bro, absolutely. That's one way of describing Colby Covington as an American patriot. Dougie's streaming every day. I'm streaming whenever I get the chance, Kenny. I'm streaming whenever I get the chance. So if I get the chance, I will stream. That's what I try and do, mate. That's the deal. We love blazing each other in the glizzy bath. Okay, that's disgusting. Starting a stream called the Glizzy Chamber. Do it, Eric. I think you'll get very far with it. It's a disgusting, disgusting place, the internet. What's up, Eric? How are you, dude? It's in the bucket. It's in the bucket. I'm looking at the bucket. I think I'm looking at the corner of the t-shirt right now. It's right there, mate. How are you, dude? Good to see you, man. How's service going, I guess? I mean, he'd never decide to be real again after this point. It was Pickett. He did tons of media up to that point and sold himself really well as a prospect. Right. And you think since that fight, he's done some sort of weird character heel-esque turn where he's never going to be the same again. Interesting. Again, that was his first fight, the Pickett fight. I'm pretty sure that was his first fight. So, yeah, it's weird that he went to sell himself really humbly and then he's gone on this weird death spiral. Very, very strange. Nate honestly submits Colby Covington. The people out there that are still Nate Diaz fans are insane to me. Like, I don't understand how anyone could possibly think that Nate Diaz would get a win over Colby Covington in 2025. In big 2025. Who the hell would think that Nate Diaz would get a win over Colby Covington in big 2025? Unbelievable. Kevin Holland is the only one that could do it. Chael convinced Colby Covington the interim title as a world. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing that Colby Covington said in this submission radio interview. Colby Covington goes, I've been a champion before. I've been a world champion before. Yeah, this was embarrassing. This is a whole... Every time Colby Covington opens his mouth, it's absolute embarrassment, mate. Let me read some of your chats, boys. Chandler, Dustin Poirier. Toad says, Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Gaethje, and Oliveira are very inactive, and half of their fights are against each other, so they haven't really had much chance to fall down the ranking. What's up, Ben? Good to see you, dude. That's true, man. That's true. They have sort of churned in against each other, and they really do fight once a year, twice a year to get lucky. So then I do wonder... Then the problem with lightweight at the moment is the UFC's matchmaking and the way that it's been looking for regional prospects and getting them up in the division. Because I feel like you sort of need a win. There's almost like this fake lightweight tournament going on where like the UFC lightweight division has its own sort of separate rankings and competition outside of the top 10. And once you win the top 10 championships, then you can have a go at Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, or Charles Oliveira if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Kenny says, I want my boyfriend to plaster my forehead like Sim, but that's... Okay, Kenny, that's disgusting. How good would Volk be with... What's up, Ben? Good to see you, dude. How good would Volk be with Max's chin? We'll find out against Diego Lopez, brother. Because Volk's chin was always quite good, you know what I mean? The only thing that made him lose his chin was the fact that he was 11 days after getting, like, blackout drunk on the couch and then going to fight Islam Makhachev. It was the weight cut that really affected his chin in the first place. So now that he's had a full year off... We'll find out. Volk always gets touched on the chin, and he always goes, yeah, mate, that was a good one. You got me there a little bit. He can't afford to do that anymore. Imagine Alexa Grasso soft feet wrapped around... No, Yog, I won't. I shan't, and I won't. Volk is so bad, always been so mid. Paddington's legacy is to be champ. Kenny, no. Fucking no, Kenny. All right, pull it up, mate. No. How do you think Anthony Smith reacts to text messages from Bisping? Tears. Beep, beep. Oh, it's Michael. You're fired, buddy. On paper, I'll just start my own podcast. I have a goal, by the way. 305 chunks. I'm going to get more... By the end of 2026, I'm going to have more subscribers than Anthony Smith. Me, a plasterer from Melbourne that's never done a day of competition in his life, I'm going to have more subscribers than Anthony Smith's On Paper podcast. He currently has 4,000 subscribers. I will chase him down. Nate Diaz would KO John Jones. No, Kenny, no. Aspinall Jones fight when? November, Madison Square Garden. It's going to happen. Book it in, not the aim, bro. I do like him, but I think he sees being honest as the best pass for marketability. It's not a heel turn. It's more like stonewalling overly about certain things, like his striking credentials. We're talking about Bo Nickel here, huh? Because I don't find him to be an honest person. I I don't think him pretending that he was in the woods and he just accidentally didn't get the phone call to fight Robert Whittaker on short notice is him being honest. I think he's making that shit up. Although, then again, I do think he truly believes that his striking is actually good. So, maybe, Shemon. Maybe, dude. Maybe, man. It's weird, though, isn't it? Kenny, beating Max 3 times. Yeah. Reread what I said. We're not disagreeing. Oh, we're there. Like, thank you, 305 Chunks, for the $1, man. I really, really appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. That's your 10th donation, dude. Thank you so much for the $1, man. I appreciate it. I like him, but I don't think he sees being honest as the best. Sorry, I missed that one. Shame on. That's my horrible dyslexia kicking back in again. I think you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I agree. You're right. We do agree. You're right, and I'm right, and we agree with each other. Fair enough. Beating Max 3 times, yeah, and October is bad. No, yeah, I know. That's it's quite good, to be honest. It's quite good. It's quite good. Volk's got to stay in the kitchen. He might after the Lopez fight. You know, he's got a very successful. Apparently, people don't even know that he's a UFC fighter on his other page. They have no idea that he's one of the best UFC fighters to have ever lived on his Cooking with Volk page. It's a complete mystery to them. So, you know, he's doing quite well. It's obviously rage bait. I mean, you guys, it's hard to say that it's obviously rage bait when we have a nearly 50-50 split. We've got 7 people watching the stream right now. We have 7 votes. It's hard to say that it's rage bait, dude. We got 57% of you think Nate Diaz beats Colby Covington in big 2025. Do you think Bo Nickel will actually use his wrestling in his next fight? Depends who he. If he's smart, Bo Nickel will use his wrestling against the striker. And if he's, well, he can't use his striking against the wrestler because he doesn't have any striking. He thinks barely outstriking Paul Craig is. I mean, he'll have to use his wrestling. He can't strike. He has no striking. Being able to outstrike Paul Craig barely is not having striking. I would hazard a guess that my mother could outstrike Paul Craig. Volk really didn't get touched much beside Max 2. In essentially every fight, someone lands a good shot on him, and he always does that thing where he acknowledges it. That's the problem. Zombie didn't touch Volk, and yeah, barely did. No, they both landed on him. They both landed at least one clean shot on him, because he does it every single fight, Benny boy. Every single fight. Why have you got a bone next to your chat, Benny? Is that just your own? That didn't come with the channel, did it? It's like, are you asking to be a mod? Did you just give yourself a wrench? I like it. I like it. Show up for the job that you want, Benster. I like it, mate. Enigma eats salami without cutting it or chewing it. Yeah, base. Probably doesn't even... Yeah, just like a duck. Just straight swallows of long... Alright, Kenny, getting a little bit graphic there. Ilya's gimmick works great now that he's winning, but he's cooked the moment he loses. So I've promoted myself to... I love it. What's up, Paul Richardson? Good to see you, dude. Colby versus Nate. Waste of a Nate fight, isn't it? It's Colby called out Nick or Nate Diaz, dude. And turns out chat is undecided about who wins. I'm shocked, personally, that chat has gone with Nate Diaz. I'm personally shocked, but it is what it is. So, Toad. Ilya's gimmick. La Leyenda. The legend. Ilya Tapuria's new nickname. Like you said, Toad, Ilya's gimmick is working great now while he's winning, but this is going to come crashing down on him the moment that he loses. And Ilya Tapuria is going to lose to Islam Makhachev. And now I'm starting to see around the Twitter community, around the MMA community, that people are willing to admit that Ilya Tapuria is going to lose to Islam Makhachev. And I want it to be known that we are not just jumping on the bandwagon here, right? I have been calling Ilya Tapuria getting destroyed by Islam Makhachev for months and months and months and months and months. Ilya Tapuria stands no chance against Islam Makhachev, and that was my original pick all the way back in the day when Ilya Tapuria said that he wanted to move up to fight Islam Makhachev. I'm just looking for the original video that I made, trying to find out where it was called 0%. Hang on a second. Where is it? God, it was a long time ago. Jeez, we make a lot of videos on this channel. We make a whole lot of videos on this channel. Brutal, boring, WMMA crisis. Oh my God. I'll have to find that. Dude, it was Before UFC 309. That is insane. No, it can't have been that long ago. It can't have been before UFC 309. That's impossible. We'll find it. We'll find the video and I'll post it in the community tab to know that I had it. Let me catch up on chats. Name better feet than Alexa Grasso's feet. And I don't know, Yog. I don't rate people by their feet. 305 Chunk says, you're on a circular lunar mission. Who would you rather hear giving urgent directives? A, Marab, or B, JRE, but all he says is, you gotta get out of there. I think it would rather be Marab, because at least with the Marab, you'd get to the truth eventually, you know? Whereas if it was with JRE, he would just say, this is Houston, you gotta get out of there, and then you'd end up opening the hatch door and your head would explode. It's true I'm rage-baiting retard because I masturbate. That sounds about right, Kenny. That sounds about right. I promoted myself to mod. That is a based move, Benny boy. Like I said, you got to show up for the job that you want. I've just arrived. Colby Covington, we covered that one. I work with people like Bo who don't necessarily bold-face lie to your face. They just say small shit no one cares to dispute. And if you look hard enough, it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, that does seem like a very Bo Nickel thing. Yeah, I'm with you, man. But Islam and Ilya aren't fighting. It's a useless conversation. Islam and Ilya aren't fighting. It's a useless conversation. No, they're going to fight. They're going to fight eventually, Benny boy. They're going to fight. Shame on eats a banana without peeling it. That's true, he does. People get confused when they have a reputation for being a liar without being credibly called out for. People get confused when they have a reputation for being a liar without being credibly called out for lying. So the whole sort of community just knows they're a little bit full of shit. Yeah, that's the sort of world that Bo Nickel has found himself in right now. Like, no one's buying the shit that he's selling. No one at all. Islam is probably going to fight Charles again. You reckon, Ben? That's the way you feel the wind is blowing? You don't think it's going towards Justin Gaethje? Kenny, my gag reflex is actually terrible. None of these things are true. See, Shamon's tried. Shamon's had a go, Kenny. He knows he can't get it all the way down. Doing impressions of Leon Edwards auditioning for the lead role in a romantic comedy. Okay. Hey, you going there? My name's Leon Edwards. I grew up under a zinc roof. Is there a kiss in this scene? There's a kiss in this scene. Look at me now, Mum. There's going to be a woman's going to kiss me now. Look at me now. You've all said I couldn't get a kiss, but I could get a kiss. Now look at me now. Chunks, that was a fucking great one. Is there a kiss in this script? There's a kiss in this script. You all said I couldn't get a kiss, but I could get a kiss. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, fucking hell, Chunks. Chunks. That one was a good one. Oh, brother. Who said you swallow it whole? I just said you didn't peel it. Yep. Can you talk more about Alexa Grasso? No, sorry, York. Maybe at Christmas. You can still cut it without peeling it, but thanks for exposing yourself there, buddy. And the gag reflex part. Gotta love Alexa Grasso. Okay, that's enough. Ilya hasn't gone through the grinder of different styles. Unlike guys like Ank, Islam, Pantoja, Marab, etc. He's only fought primarily boxers with questionable defense, causing him to become very overrated. Ilya hasn't gone through the grinder of different styles. Huh. Interesting. I mean, he's fought two Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu experts. I mean, he's fought the Hall kid. He's fought the little bastard, Ryan Hall. He's fought Ryan Hall Jiu-Jitsu. He's fought Bryce Mitchell, who was a ranked 5th or 6th heavy grappler and Jiu-Jitsu artist at the time. He's fought the best boxer in the UFC, fresh, Max Holloway. Volk was primarily a wrestler who learnt hands, even though he didn't really implement any wrestling in the fight against Volk. He's fought taller, rangier guys in Jai Herbert. I don't know, Toad. I don't know. Look, I believe that Islam Makhachev destroys La Leyenda, but I think he's fought a fair range of people, man. After Colby's last 2 fights, I don't need to see him fight anymore. You know what? Colby is the one athlete in the world where I would say, yeah, actually, go to the GFL. You know what I mean, Paul Richardson? I would say go on, go to the GFL, dude. We don't need you here. We don't need you here. What indicators do you have that Ilya is going to be fighting Islam? Islam and Charles are talking about fighting again. I don't have any indicators. I was asking you. Like, I think the fight will happen eventually. I think it makes sense for it to happen. I think the idea that just because it hasn't been announced is a little bit of a fallacy, Benny boy, because the UFC is a copy and paste promotion machine, and they're not going to announce UFC International Fight Week until 2 months before International Fight Week. So probably a week before UFC 314, we'll get the announcement for the main event of UFC 317. That's just the way the UFC works. So even if the fight's made, doesn't mean that it's getting announced until we're in that special timeline where the UFC likes to announce fights. However, having said that, I've not got any indications that the fight is or isn't going to happen. It just seems to be, if it's not going to be with Arman and it's not going to be with Ilya, it seems to be most likely that the UFC are pushing for it to be with Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira is trying to insert himself in that conversation. That's what it seems to be like from my end, man. Ilya fought two of the best grapplers in featherweight and two of the best. Yeah, I feel like Ilya has had a fairly well-rounded go of it. I do. Yeah, I don't know, man. He made his name of KOing Volk and Max, but I think he's run the gambit and had a superior game plan versus each of them. Yeah. What's up? You don't know? How are you, dude? What have we been talking about just to catch you up on the stream so far? We've been talking about Ilya Tapuria and how his new nickname opens him up to getting absolutely embarrassed, and I believe that he has a 0% chance of winning against Islam Makhachev. And also, what's up, Taz? Good to see you, dude. And also, we have been talking about Colby Covington did a interview with Submission Radio where he called out Nick and Nate Bloody Diaz. We ran a poll in the chat, and 57% of the chat think that Nate Diaz win that fight against Colby Covington in Big 2025. It's a bit wild. All right, Super Shotgun says, how are you, Shotgun? Good to see you, man. I think I've said hello to you today. How are you, Shotgun? I hope you're doing well, man. Super Shotgun says, Kane got 5 years. Did you talk about how he got off so light? We talked about that in yesterday's stream quite a bit. But yeah, it's great. It's great that he got off so light. It's really good. It's really, really good. There's still people on the reel that I did today, on the reel that I did yesterday, saying that Kane should have got off even lighter. You can't please everybody. If he gets exposed, I think it'll be due to the game plan, not skill set. He's unironically very well-rounded, even if he makes shit decisions at some point. Now, Shame On, are you still talking about Bo Nickel here, or are you talking about Ilya Tapuria? If you're talking about Bo Nickel, I don't think he's very well-rounded. I don't think he has any striking. So I think you're talking about Ilya Tapuria. And when it comes to Ilya Tapuria versus Islam Makhachev, I think it's just a size discrepancy thing. Beating Hall is not impressive, but he showed good skills against Bryce Mitchell. He hasn't fought a Movzar, though, which is a matchup people have overlooked because of the Volk and the Max win. That is true. That is true. That is true, but again, he's still fought two very good ground, submission experts. He's fought two good wrestlers. So, and Movzar has looked human. He looked human against Arnold Allen. Movzar looked human against Diego Lopez in the first fight. Diego Lopez was on a couple of days' notice. Movzar looked very human against Aljamain Sterling, so it's not like Movzar is a world beater, So I get what you're saying, Toad, but I don't think it's as stark of a protection racket as the UFC were running for, like, Alex Pereira or Sean O'Malley. You know what I mean, mate? Paul Richardson says, I take it back. The only fight I want for Colby Covington is Gary. Put them on as an Apex headliner with 4 women fights so I can watch that one fight delayed and get Sunday off. The shit talking might be fun. You know what, Paul? That's a fucking good one too, mate. That's a good one too. Colby Covington versus Ian Gary, Apex main event. 4 fights on the main card, all WMMA fights that nobody could care about. What's up, Nacho? How are you, brother? Ben Rothwell got justice today, mate. Big Betty Rothwell got justice today. Worst nickname announcement coming out the same day as the worst main event announcement ever is pretty fitting. Yes, of course, the main event announcement as well. We got to get to that as well. The UFC hate its fan base. The UFC want to lose money. How are you, Nacho? I hope you had a good day, man. Blanchfield versus Barber. Classic, not going to be watching a main event fight night coming up. Dougie, my kangaroo brother, how are you, Taz? Good to see you, man. Awesome, brother. Hope all is good in mighty Australia. I'm doing better than I deserve to be doing, and the country is still afloat. How? I don't know. But still, I was reading the Business Times while I was taking a shit this morning, and there's been a record-breaking amount of business insolvencies. Isn't that good? You don't know? Isn't that good? Man, well, look, the country's bleeding. Anyway, this isn't a political channel. It's an MMA channel. These fucking women headlining a match. We're not here to talk politics. We're here to talk MMA. These fucking women are going to be headlining at Apex again. These political motherfuckers that own Disney think they can just make women headline the Apex. Oh, shit, dude. For all we know, Ilya is just a Leon Edwards who found a very specific old school style of it. For all we know, Ilya is just a Leon... No, Toad, now you're getting... Well, dude, he's fought two great grapplers just off the top of my head. Come on, man. Come on, dude. He's not just a... And also, Leon Edwards is very well-rounded. Very, very well. Yes, Sean Brady reduced him to not a single punch or strike in the second round, but still, Leon Edwards took down Colby Covington... took down Kamaru Usman in the first round of the second fight. He was doing well against the wrestling of Kamaru Usman in the third fight. He took down Colby Covington in the wrestling in the third fight. He took down Bilal Muhammad. Like, he's... I don't know, dude. I don't know, Toad. I think you're off on this one, man. What about Prime Nate Diaz versus Prime Nate Diaz versus Prime Colby Covington? Nate Diaz probably submits him. Prime Nate Diaz. But we're not talking Prime for Prime. The question was in Big 2025. We're talking about old... weed-smoking Nate Diaz. Bo isn't even well-rounded. Can you just shut the fuck up? No one cares that you own a motorbike. Bo isn't even well-rounded on the ground. No, he isn't. But I do feel bad for Bo. He's got a lot of hate, and he seems like a decent dude. It's not Bo's... Well, it's sort of 50-50. It's sort of 50-50. I want to say it's not Bo's fault. It's a mix. There's a mix of things that are going on with Bo Nickel and why everybody hates him. You know, number one, it's the UFC shoving him down our throat like an uninvited penis. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants an uninvited penis shoved down their throat. But then the other part is he's also like looking us in the eye and trying to tell us about how much we should be enjoying the experience. And quite frankly, Bo Nickel, I don't enjoy the experience of your penis being shoved down my throat forcibly, Bo Nickel. I don't enjoy it at all. At all. So there is a little bit going on there. That is probably why they you can't do the Paul Felder fight. Have the entire not the Paul Felder fight, the Paul Craig fight. Have the entire crowd cheer at you about how overrated you are, and then talk about how great you are at the same time. It's not a good look, you know. But it's also not his fault that the UFC put him on UFC 300. That's not his fault either, you know. And keep putting him on pay-per-views for no reason. I'm not talking about Bo. I am not talking about Bo. I think Bo is about as well-rounded as Hamzat going into the GM3 fight right now, but he had the GM3 performance. He isn't a world beater. Yeah, fair. What do you think about an Apex Fight Night tight loser get... We've talked about this a lot, Shimon. We've talked about this a lot, and I like it, dude. Loser gets cut. You think it makes it worth watching regardless of the lineup? Dude, I think they should just have those fights announced. You know how, we have the feature fight, and we have the you don't know and now you know, and then we have the number one contenders fight. We give fights in the UFC names already. People know that this fight means something because it's a number one contenders fight. I think we should have do or die fights. And this is how a UFC Apex card should be structured. You should do the WMMA first. So 2 WMMA, maybe 3 WMMA fights. First thing, straight away on the early prelims of an Apex card. And then the next 2 fights after that on the Apex prelims should be do or die fights. Where the loser of this fight gets cut no matter what. Like the opposite of a contender series. Then you kick off the Apex card. And you have a couple of fights from the guys from contender series. So it's like college MMA, regional MMA. It's like draft picks. It's like stepping stones. You can make your highlights here in the Apex and get you onto crowded fight nights. Then the co-main event should be a ranked fight somewhere in one of the meaningful divisions. And then the main event should be, obviously, what the main event should be. An important fight in one of the divisions. If they structured the Apex cards like that, we could all sleep in. We could all sleep in and ignore the first 2 or 3 WMMA fights. And then we could actually watch the old vets and one of them fight for their jobs. Got a prick of a headache, but we persevere. That's the spirit, Nacho. What else can we do? But press on, you know. Do an impression of Marab meeting with a financial advisor. So now that I am champion of the world, you know, I think it's very important that we look at the books and we try and figure out a way that we can find the monetary value and see what to do with the future. And what do you mean? What do you mean? The meeting's just started. How's could this be an hour? This hasn't been an hour yet. What do you mean you charge by the hour? I'll come back tomorrow. We finished talking about this. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. Classic Marab. Classic Marab. Bo is the number one fan of Bo himself. Exactly, flattest of the Erics. Why are you the flattest of the... You didn't answer me, Eric. Why? Why are you the flattest of the Eric? The fact that Bo was scared to take Craig to the ground tells me that RDR is going to kill the poor dude. I agree. I'm going to be going with DeRiddler, DeRiddler the Fiddler. I agree, mate. I agree. If you're worried about what Paul Craig is going to do to you, then the double champion from 1FC is going to end you, mate. Bo Nicola has a Michael Chandler level of gaslighting. Ooh, almost a Drickus Duplessis level of gaslighting. Mate, I'd never said I'd be the first African champion. I never said that. I said I'd be the first champion from Africa. They're completely different things. I never said that I wouldn't fight Robert Whittaker. I said I couldn't fight Robert Whittaker because my phone didn't ring. They're completely different things. I never said I had good striking. I just had as good striking as Paul Craig, who's a great striker. They're completely different things. Heavyweight loser gets cut and fights. Heavyweight loser gets cut. Fights are the only ones not worth watching. That isn't Heavyweight loser get cuts would be the only fights not worth watching. That isn't WMMA. I agree. You know, I have now decided that the UFC heavyweight division is now officially lower than the women's divisions. It's the worst division in the UFC. The fact that it's got 2 interesting fights in it is horrible, mate. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, man. What's good, Mr. Douglas? Andraj and chat. That was disgusting, and I seriously considered deleting all of my internet profiles after seeing that. I never want to see anything that disgusting again, Larry. That was truly... I maybe want to claw my eyes out. That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. I do think Ilya is very good, and from what I've seen, his grappling looks very solid, but I don't like people prematurely acting like he 100% beats every flyweight and light heavyweight, and Ilya Islam is a 50-50. That is fair enough, Todathan. That is totally fair enough. I've seen how the UFC hype machine builds up the invincible character way too many times, so I just want to point out the things that MMA fans will only bring up after post-loss clarity. I love that Toad has got this, like, there's a post-nut clarity in the MMA community, and the post-loss clarity. No, I get you, Toad, and I agree, dude. I agree. I'm the same, man. I'm like, listen, I love Chad Puria. You know what I mean? I call him Chad Puria whenever I can. I say that he beats this person and that person. I'll give him a good tour glazing every now and then. But the idea that this invincible machine that is just going to tear through Islam Makhachev, I find to be ridiculous. Like, just look at the size of them. High school, MMA, middle school. Yeah, exactly, Ben. Like, the middle fights on an Apex card, that's where, like, all right, you've come off the Contender Series, and this is like your first 3 fights in your contract. They're at the Apex. If you can't put together an interesting ESPN reel, if you've done the Contender Series and you've done 3 fights, and we can't get one TikTok highlight out of you, and when Michael Bisping puts the microphone in front of your face on ESPN, you can't think of anything interesting to say other than give me the next guy. I don't care if you're on a 3-fight win streak. Cut him. Move to the next guy. Back to the Contender Series. Move to the next guy. They got to get rid of this fucking filler in the middle of the UFC. It's time for organization around here. Once Dana White's out of the UFC, it's got to become this channel's top priority to move the entire UFC Apex and the PI to Craster's Corner in Thailand, to Dougie's Keep in Thailand, where we actually run shit properly and we get this shit sorted out and get the UFC fucking firing again on all cylinders. Unless they hire Andrade to be in every women's fight, that would be amazing. Disgusting. 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 You should show the chat for the people not in the Discord. No, I'm never, ever, ever looking at that. It was a special moment in time that happened between us and the Discord, Larry. Disgusting. What was horrible? Doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. Call me what you want, but I'd give it a go. Nice, nice, nice. Outside of Aspinall and Volkov, prime Tim Silver would lay waste to the top 15 with his blobby techniques and his stupid long ape arms. True. Based Craster's Keep, the way the world was meant to be. Craster's Keep, mate. Based Craster's Keep. Oh my God. Craster's Keep. Dana's given on the sport and is trying to... Dana's given up on the sport and trying to make stars. Well, I figured it out when I was thinking about, you know, how to fix the UFC heavyweight division. Literally change the name to Craster's Corner. Maybe if we ever start a second channel, it's just about bullshit and memes. Maybe we will. Craster's Corner. The UFC, because they've become such a copy and paste promotional machine, what all they do is they bring you onto the Contender Series, they give you a 3-fight contract, and they just put in your little 30 seconds on that ESPN interview with Michael Bisping after the knockout, and whatever knockouts you get, they just wait to see which fighter gets interactions on shorts. That's it. They just wait to see who gets the most clicks on their media pages. And if you get a lot of clicks on their media pages, then we'll re-sign you and we'll move you over to fight nights. And if you keep getting clicks, then maybe we'll move you over to pay-per-views. They don't look for stars or try and build stars. They net in... Ducks MMA, what's up, dude? They net in all of this talent from all of the world and then drag that net through the filter of just Reels and TikTok's algorithm. And wherever they get spikes in it, that's the person that they just point the camera at. Rather than like back in the day when they built up the Conor McGregor-Jose Aldo fight, you know what I mean? Where they shot like little trailers and stuff on the streets of Las Vegas. Or he would take Ronda Rousey and he would stick her in front of the late night TV shows. Like Dana White was out there trying to build celebrity. Whereas now all they're doing is just capturing dog shit MMA talent from all over the world and pointing the camera at wherever they get spikes in their social media jumps. That's not building a star. That's just creating content and seeing what happens, essentially. I've definitely thrown it to worse, though. Okay, that's enough. Do you think Bo takes a deep breath when he gets a call from the UFC? Yes, every single time. So how am I going to weasel my way out of this one and get myself a GM3 fight? The heavyweight division is low-key exciting. We have Gaziev and Mick Parkin. Nothing about that is exciting to me. Nothing about that is exciting to me. Jones's delay gave Pereira enough time for another shot. Jones's delay may give Pereira enough time for another shot. What do you mean, Chunks? Because we are talking about Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev in August. Jones has said that he wants the fight signed in 6 months, which means we're probably getting John Jones versus Tom Aspinall in November at MSG. These timelines do not match up, Chunks. Explain yourself, sir. Did the Discord share that photo of Andre? Yes. That's exactly what it was, Paul Richardson, except instead, Larry from the Discord decided to hyperimpose my face doing retarded things like... over her private parts. It was disgusting. Check the Discord. Okay. What's in the Discord? That's get rid of that. No. God, no. No, God, no. Jesus Christ, God in heaven, no. God, no. In heaven, God, no. I like the UFC. I like the UFC not having a star. Everyone is special. I like the UFC not having a star. Everyone is special now. I mean, I don't mind it the way that it is now, Ben, purely because I like the UFC and I like the product. And people are complaining that we don't have any big stars, but I think Tom Espinel is very interesting. I think DDP is very interesting. I think Tapuri is very interesting. I think Marab is hilarious. I think the Fighting Nerds is a great storyline to follow. Like, I don't think we need the Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor stars to be out there on the Late Show like we used to do it, because back then the UFC wasn't mainstream, whereas now it's not mainstream now, but now it's just, I don't know, it's established, you know, it's not teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. And once they get this deal done, it'll never be teetering on the edge. It will not be teetering on the edge of bankruptcy for another decade. This is going to be a $1 billion deal over the next 10 years. That's going to solidify the UFC for the... Once Dana White gets this deal sorted out with Netflix and Amazon and gets $1 billion for the next 10 years, he will bow his head and be done. He will be, that's enough. I'm done. People don't know about Prime, juiced up Silver with the abs. He head kicked. Sorry, mate. Sorry, brother. Dream champ in every single weight class. Not the girls, obviously. Dream champion in every single weight class. Do you mean? Sorry, I missed you there, Duxel MMA. Do you mean out of the current lineup of UFC talent, or of all time? Let's go to the ring. Dream champ out of everyone right now. At flyweight, I would love to see Manel Kape as the champion. At flyweight, I would love to see Manel Kape as the champion. At bantamweight, I'd love to see Piotr Jan as the champion. At featherweight, I'd love to see Volk win his belt back and then defend against Movsar and go down as the greatest MMA fighter of all time. At lightweight, I would like to see Ruffy or Fiziev as the champion. At welterweight, Jack Della Maddalena, obviously, I'd like to see the champion. At light heavyweight, Yuri Prohaska, I would like to see as the champion. And at heavyweight, I would like to see Shamil the Blob Gaziev as the greatest fighting force to be walking the earth naturally without a drop of steroids in his blood. I think the memes would be fucking hilarious. I'd go for that, brother. I'd go for that. Sorry I missed your question, dude. Are we saying Gordon Ryan would beat Bo in a fight right now? Yes. Yes, we are. I said I don't know how DDP isn't a star. He's a funny, good-looking Chad who has a good trash talk. He should legit be a celebrity. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Ben. But I think if we were back in the day, if we had the promotional machine that the UFC had in 2015, I think Dricus du Plessis would be a star. If they were putting him on late-night television, if they were making trailers of him, like small movies about him, if they were putting him out there as much as constantly possible, I think he would be a star. But the problem is, now DDP just gets copied and pasted into that same 2-month promotional cycle that we're stuck in. So he can't become a superstar because, I mean, Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo, they did a world tour. They did several world tour press conferences for that one fight. Imagine if they took Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya and just took them to Africa, took them to Nigeria just to do a press conference, he would be a star. But they don't do that. They did one 15-minute press conference in fucking Perth. In fucking Perth. They did a 15-minute press conference. This is not the same level of promotion that Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey and Chuck Liddell were getting. You know what I mean, man? Do you think there's too many events and that's why it ain't like it used to be, market saturation kind of thing? No. I did a video on it since 2011. Since 2011, the UFC have done 42 events. They're now up to 48 events per year. It's the exact same amount of events. It's the effort. It's just the effort. It's gone from being a promotion company to a production company. That's the best way to put it. It's gone from being a promotion company to a production company. The head kick Tellman out cold. Tellman was unconscious for 5 straight minutes on the canvas, got carted out on an oxygen mask, straight into the ambulance. He never fought or appeared in public again. Literally killed somebody. And that is who Shamil the Blob Gaziev would defeat to this day. That's a good promo. That was a good one. Just to what you out of the currents. Did it. Nailed it, mate. Nailed it. There was pure social media error. We would go for months not hearing... This was the pre-social media era. Yeah, back before that. Yep. Like maybe like Allberg, maybe like Allberg a lot and you want him to be champ. Yeah, I think I went through that. Deluxe MMA. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Do you have a channel, dude, or is this just your That you don't make videos? No, this is just your MMA burner account on YouTube. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Just going to give it a shout out. Bro, what about Erceg, you race trader? You fool of a thing. Who the hell would want Allberg as a champ? What about Erceg? I'm sorry, mate. I don't have Erceg up there on my wish list. I apologize. Allberg, I think you mean tanned Luke Rockhold. Yeah, that's true. Well, Allberg has skill. Take that, Rockhold. You can't find old Sherdog. You can find old Sherdog threads from the 2000s. People considering if he died in the UFC covering it up. Yeah, I would imagine that's exactly what people would think. If he just went underground and nobody saw or heard from him again. Yep. What bet should we be made to get Grasso's feet emoji back? I think we're going to do it if Big Ben Rothwell KOs Mark Hunt. You get Grasso's foot emoji back. Diddler isn't exactly known for his strike. That's true. The Riddler isn't exactly known for his striking. The UFC hates DDP. He gets absolutely zero. Thank you, Timmy boy! For the 10 donos, mate. You are an absolute bloody legend, brother. Thank you for the 10 donos, dude. Thank you, Timmy. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel like that. The UFC hates DDP, so he gets zero promotion, terrible undercards, and Dana hyping up Dricus du Plessis' opponents for getting beat up good at the post-fight press conference. Yeah, well, DDP is a smart man and doesn't let Dana White absolutely fuck him in the ass. So Dana hates it. Absolutely hates it. Strikes, open subs on the ground, Larry. They don't have to be great. Yep, fair. UFC spent more money and effort promoting Tito Ortiz versus Cam Shamrock back in 2002 when they were bleeding money than any fight in the last 3 years. It's sad. Exactly, dude. Like I said, they're a production company, not a promotion company. They used to be a promotion company trying to get people to watch. Now everybody watch. So now all they have to do is produce the content. Decent answers. I'll subscribe, but I do expect a mod in the near future. All right, Deluxe. Hey, Deluxe, you're rocking up. You're making your intentions known. Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you ever want to skip the queue, you can use the powers of capitalism. And if you donate, your comment gets read straight away. But welcome to the channel, Deluxe. If you're into funny daily videos, check out yesterday's video. Check out a recent video I did of MMA fighters if they were in presidential office. Bloody hilarious ones. Otherwise, it's just news and general topics every day. Welcome to the channel. So it's not that the UFC doesn't have any star material, it's that they aren't good at advertising, but at the same time, fighters could try and get themselves into talk shows or movies. That's true, Ben. Fighters could try and do it. They could try and do it, but the point is, the UFC used to do it for them. Now the UFC pays them the exact same amount and does less promotional material. You know what I mean? And I think fighters should do it. Like, I think when Morgan Shadipe made that trailer of himself going to London, that went fucking viral. That's great. Like, fighters should absolutely do that. Because if you can come to the UFC and you can tell the UFC, look, I've got 10 million followers on Instagram, now you can negotiate with them. But if you rock up to the UFC, you've got no fucking followers on Instagram, the UFC are just giving you the exact same contract they give everybody else. So the fighters absolutely should be trying to get themselves out there. And fighters like Israel Adesanya and Sean O'Malley realized this. Waffaloo, what's up, dude? How are you, man? At a Enigma, okay, cool. Busy as fuck. I'll catch some replays of you, Frankie, and our Alfred Wog punting US mate on the weekend. Great work, cunt. Thank you, Timmy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the donos, dude. Hopefully the busy flow of work slows down soon and you can get back into your grind, man. Gonna give me a shout out. Gosh, what an absolute sweetheart. You're welcome, Deluxe MMA. It's what we do around here. Prime Rockhold folds. Fraudberg with a body kick. No, Fraudberg has skill. Luke Rockhold is a shill. Rockhold was very skilled, just no shot. I know, I just hate Luke Rockhold. I'm just staring you up, chat. I hate Luke Rockhold. Seems super nice. I was here the other day when you raided that younger guy with autism. Okay. Legend. I don't remember raiding anybody recently, but I do a lot of streams and I forget. So thank you, Deluxe MMA. Appreciate you being here, brother. Joe Hogan, good to see you, dude. How are you, man? Good to see you, dude. Thank you for warning me about the other bloke. Appreciate it, mate. Can you make a video breaking down Mark Hunt versus Big Ben Rothwell? You know what, Ben? I think I'm going to have to. As we get closer to the fight, I think I'm going to have to make a video breaking down the GOAT, the absolute legendary GOAT. Nobody could ever forget him. Big King Ben Rothwell versus Mark Hunt, man. Shame on says, Mr. Dougie, if you go minus 40% across 2 events straight in main card picks, the feet return, thoughts? Ooh. Minus 40% across 2 events straight in main card picks. Main card picks, the feet return. Ooh. Let me know what you think, chat. I mean, it's your emoji at the end of the day. I just sort of run the channel. I just rock up. You know what I mean? Why I don't want to add another one. I don't want to add another one. I want that to be the only one. That's all we need. We don't need another option. Start the bloody poll. We don't need any more options. Just start the bloody poll. Let me catch up on everyone's comments. That's an interesting one, shame on. I will let the chat decide. I just work here. You guys are the channel. Do an impression of Teddy Atlas, We Are the Fireman speech, motivating Jesse on fire to upload his thumbnails. Do you see those views we're not getting out there? Do you see those views? Those views are on fire. Then we're not getting any fire. But your thumbnails are the firemen. We are the firemen. You load that thumbnail up saying that you've got nuclear news about something that was just on MMA On Point. It doesn't matter that everybody's already seen it. You know Chael's son and he's texted you. We're the firemen, Jesse. Deluxe thinks he can take everything I work, but I like it, mate. He's got balls, mate. He's rocking in saying what he wants. Did you know Robbie Lawler versus Steve Berger was the first UFC fight to be aired on national television? No, I didn't know that, Shotgun. I didn't know that. No, I worked so hard for this mod status. I worked so hard. Wafel says, thank you, bro. You're welcome. Wafel, do an impression of Sterling negotiating with Hunter Campbell without any representation. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I feel like fighting in 6 weeks' time, I feel disrespected, you know? Aljamain, think about it. Everyone who loves Sean O'Malley would obviously love you. You got the exact same demographic of fan base. Sign. Don't no one's here. It's just you and me. You have to talk to me, idiot. he just turns into Dominic Cruz. You have to bargain with me, idiot. There's nobody else in the room. Did you know Cal Uno was the first MMA fighter to be sponsored by Nike? I didn't, Super Shotgun. You got to start going to, have you heard of Bodak? Have you heard of Bodak's YouTube channel, Shotgun? It's great. He does daily quizzes. It's really, really good. Larry, a.k.a. Doug's agent. Sorry I missed the ad. I was responding to someone who commented on the Gordon, wasn't allowed to. They don't always, but they certainly can, Nacho. Hence why I said I couldn't count on Bo. Not that I think Bo is going to win. Nice. I'm looking forward to your Mark Hunt versus Rothwell video. I'm looking forward to thinking of something to say. Big Ben grabs Mark Hunt by the scruff of the neck and goes, bup. And that's the end of the video. He should be able to win the professional battle on the ground. And if he cannot get subbed, he's live for a decision. I have absolutely no idea how it'll go if it ends up being a striking match, though. Fair. I think the Riddler wins. Wait, both options are supporting the bet? No, they're not. I misread. Real chat heads a ride with Big Brett? Yes. I think Hart wins considering he already beat the dog shit out of Rothwell. But things are... Dude, Ben, you've got to watch BKFC. It is actually a different sport. It really is, man. But at the same time, Mark Hunt is close to 50. He spent all of his money trying to sue the UFC. Big Ben Rothwell has entered a new era. The glory of Big Ben Rothwell. The new era of Ben Rothwell. It's going to be wild, mate. Mark Hunt has been smoking meth with the boys for 5 years, while Big Ben has mogged his way to the BKFC heavyweight title. You gotta use discernment. Exactly. That's exactly where we're at, boys. This was a great stream today, guys. This was a great stream today. Oh, we ended it at 50-50. Oh, it's not passed by the chat. Looks like we're riding still with Big Ben Rothwell. It's only 50-50. Oh, shit. I don't think Gordon is the most competent at getting people to the ground. Lazar. I don't think any of experience is submitting strikers in grappling positions. I think that is what he'd want, though. And Shame On says, I do not like the Gordon odds. 40% is a bit low. Even you should be able to manage that. Below 60% would be much more reasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get in at a 60% average with my picks anyway. So, yeah, 40% is very, like, I'm not that. I don't know where this idea of I'm bad at picks comes from. I'm not bad at picks. I'm not bad at picking MMA at all. I'm just as average as everybody else. Larry, his picks are terrible. They're not. I'm not bad at picks. Did you know Shane McMahon wanted to buy the UFC in 2000 and then tried to convince his dad, but Vince said no. His main opposition was that you can't decide the way. I did know that. I did know that. Did you know that UFC 66 was the first pay-per-view to sell over $1 million? I did know that one. Big Ben mogs the chat. Ben Rothwell had no answers for Hunt on the feet. He desperately tried to wrestle and he just got beaten up. But again, watch striking and BKFC. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. Body shots hurt a lot more. He's beyond washed. Hunt has little chance. He isn't training like shit. And been on the glass a while. Rothwell is juicing now. Yeah, Rothwell is juicing now. It's true. It is true. All right, boys, we are going to share an experience together. We are going to share, this is a dumb idea, but we're going to do this together, and then I'm going to get out of here. We are going to share the Sean Strickland trying fried chicken for the first time. That's right. You heard that right. And then we're going to get out of here. Sean Strickland attempting fried chicken for the first time. This is Sean Strickland's words. Time to experience the magic that a black man experiences. That's some goddamn good chicken. I might be a chicken believer now. Again, Sean Strickland's words, not mine. And then we'll get out of here. So I've not seen this, YouTube. I don't know what this is. I've not seen this, but it's Sean Strickland talking, so anything could happen. Let's strap in and strap on, boys. I'm not bad at picks. A guy who is terrified of getting 60% on 2 separate cards wrong when the stakes are feet emojis. No. Hang on. Before we do that, shame on you, motherfucker. I'm not scared of it, mate. The emojis aren't my emojis to gamble with. They're the chats. And I let the chat try and pick. They didn't want to pick it, so that is what it is. I'm not scared. Dude, I was willing to take the bet. I'll take the bet for 90%. I don't give a shit. I pick cards fucking perfectly, mate. All right? But the chat didn't want the bet. So that's not on me. Now, let us watch Sean Strickland eat some Twitter. Eat some chicken. God, I hope this doesn't go bad.
All right, guys, here we are. We're at the Popeyes, and I'm a white man, and I don't know the love of chicken. And I want the love of chicken, so I come to the Popeyes. So am I going to like it? I think you're going to like it.
This guy working at Popeyes is extremely confused by
the
that
love of
sentence.
chicken.
You can tell he's like, what's that? Is this motherfucker being a racist?
So I come to the Popeyes, so am I going to like it? I think you're going to like it. All right, so I'm going to give it a shot, guys. I'm giving my Popeyes a shot. Time to experience what a black man experiences. And you know, I'm real white. I'm a white man, dude. I eat sushi and shit. I'm real white. I'm white trash, but I'm real white. I just want to know what this chicken is all about. I want to get to know this chicken.
I don't get this at all. I eat fried, like, you guys have been on the Sunday night chats. If I'm doing a late night chat on the weekend, you guys have seen me stuffing my face with fried chicken. Australia is run off KFC. I'm not kidding. Australia is like, I would say most Australians, 8 out of 10 Australians, get KFC once a week. Once a week. This idea of like Sean Strickland playing up how white he is and he can't enjoy chicken, I don't get it at all. Australia is built on greasy KFC chicken.
All right, that's some damn good chicken. I might be a believer, man. I might be a chicken believer.
Chicken believer? What is that?
That's good fucking chicken.
That's good fucking chicken, man. That's some damn good chicken, man. I might be a believer. Chat, don't believe Chat's KFC glaze. It's not true. Bro, it is 100. Let me read some chat. We're going to get out of here now, chat. Shame on. Stop trying to change Big Ben, you sausage. I worked so hard for this. Did you see Marty's delusional statement? He wants Brady, Shavkat, or Buckley. Sit down, rank squatter. You need to defend your rank against Carlos Pratt. Yeah. I agree, Shotgun. He said Leon Edwards had some weird magic that won him the title. And then he looked at Henry Cejudo and legit went, you know, he's not like us. He's just not as good as... He's not legends like us. Usman is nuts, dude. Doesn't matter. There's no factual evidence to back me up. Trust me, chat. Australia bloody love. Apparently, Japan loves KFC the most. Apparently, Japan is the country most obsessed with KFC. Japan. It's a Christmas tradition to eat KFC in Japan. This has gone well off topic. Anyway, we're getting out of here, chat. Most Australians eat KFC on the weekly. Dougie, can you play with us out an impression of Mark? Dougie, can you play us out with an impression of Mark Goddard breaking up with his Discord kitten? Sure, his Discord kitten. No, it's over. It's over. Stop messaging me. It's over. No. I don't care if you're friends with my good friend MMA Guru, the fucking moron. It's over. Dougie, about to film my prediction video. Our bet's still on. Our bet is still on, Giuliano. You caught me just in time, dude. I was just getting out of here. Thank you for the $5, brother. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the $5. That's a lot of money, dude. Thank you. Our bet is still on. I have been stress messaging Bilal's good eye, who is a 100% Erceg believer, about this bet. I am also a 100% Erceg believer. I hope you're ready to go down, Giuliano. Because I definitely haven't been spending nights awake thinking about how I'm going to pad out 3 hours, mate. I haven't been thinking about that at all. I wasn't just staring at a wall today, plastering it up, wondering what the fuck I was going to say for 3 hours. That didn't cross my mind at all today, Giuliano. All I was picturing was Brandon Moreno fucking spazzing out on the cage like Israel Adesanya in a kickboxing fight against Alex Pereira, knowing that Erceg is going to mog him. Go and watch Giuliano Agente's prediction video once it's released, boys. Rumors are spreading that KFC is closing down in Australia due to low... No, it isn't. I don't know anyone that eats KFC except Doug. Shut up. Marty and Cejudo, the two unks, sit on their podcast not realizing the division has passed them. It is. It is, Shotgun. It is. Usman declined Strickland at 302. Shavkat at 310. JDM at 312. Listen, man, he'll fight when he's ready. All right? The whole division is lurking around Usman. He's the shark in the water. Usman's a joke. Imagine Tin Sylvia going full helicopter and descending all the hell heavyweights in one fell swoop. That is how much they all suck. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Cheers, Dougie. Sorry I have to win this bet, bruh. You won't be winning this bet, Giuliano. You won't be. Nacho and Doug, you guys seen the South Park where they outlawed KFC? I haven't seen that one, Larry. I gotta watch that. I love South Park. I gotta see that one. Usman just called out Brady. Usman's not gonna fight Brady. Usman's not fighting anybody. But that's it, boys. We're out of here. Yes, I represent Doug now. We can negotiate this on his part. Yeah, Larry's gonna when Erceg wins, Larry's gonna Dougie. You owe me 10%, mate. You owe me 10%. It was written down in the Bible that you owe me 10%. It was written down many years ago. You owe me 10%. Oh, God. I'm out of here, boys. Isn't it South Park where they do an episode where it's healthier to shove food up your ass and shit out your mouth? There's an episode where they decide it's better for gut health when they shove food up their ass and they shit out their mouth. Love that show. Boys, I'm out of here. This was a very good stream. We did it. Another hour in the bank. Hour and 10. Giuliano, thank you for the donos. Timmy boy, thank you for the donos. Guys, thanks for enjoying the stream and popping in and saying hi, even while other people are live. I really appreciate it. Video today about how Tom Aspinall versus John Jones being delayed has actually saved the heavyweight division, how it's a good thing. It's kind of written like a fucking classic liberal article, you know what I mean? You know, like... people are getting locked in their houses, and that's a good thing. You know, it was written like a classic propaganda article, is what I did today. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall is never happening, and that's a good thing. Great work by me. Great work by me. Good. Good work, Dougie. New video tomorrow, and I'll try and go live tomorrow as well. So that's it, boys. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you guys. That's it. That's it. We do need, Shotgun, you're right. We do need to finish the Brazilian GOAT list, and we will one day. We will. It's one of those ones that we'll go back to it. See you, boys. Have a good night.